Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how I set up my Blender for sculpting. First of all, we need to set up our controls and navigation in Blender, since Blender normally uses middle mouse button to manipulate and pan and zoom and the stuff like that. We need to change that since we're going to use pen tablet when we sculpt and it's not gonna work. Yeah, so first of all we need to go to edit and preferences and check this emulate 3-button mouse on, and now the controls are changed. I personally got used to this very quickly. Just to hover over the object we need to hold Alt and left mouse button and we can orbit around the object. If we click Ctrl Alt, hold it and left mouse button, we can zoom in and out. If we click Alt Shift and left mouse button, we can pan. Yeah, pretty simple, and everything same we can do with the pen, so that problem is solved. Next up we go to edit, preferences, navigation, and check on this orbit around selection, and what it makes, it literally allows us orbit around the point that we touching during the sculpting. I will just go to sculpting mode and do some quick manipulations, and if I touch this part, it will now orbit around this one. If I touch this, it orbits around this part, or I make some changes here and I want to zoom in here. So yeah, this one is very helpful. When we sculpt portraits, it's recommended normally to change the focal length from 50 to something more. It will help to see proportions of the face better. If we make it 20, you see how her face is kinda narrow. If we make it more, and normally 100 is good, we can see how it changes her face proportions. For example, 30, she looks like a fish, you know. And sometimes it's good to use orthographic view. Click on tilde key and you can select front or right view or top view, left, and anything, whatever needed for you. The next thing that pretty useful is when we sculpt some thin areas like back of the ear. With the clay brush, it may affect the other part of the thin area. Like here, is to avoid that, it's good to click on brush, check on the front faces only, and in that case it will affect only the front parts of the surface. Controlling the brush size, you can do it with the brackets, but I personally don't find it very useful, and I see that many experienced sculptors or 3D artists, they use the brush size by simply zooming in and out. If I need bigger brush, I will not go and click on the brackets. I just zoom out and make major changes. The next thing I wanted to point that when we sculpt here, I have many subtools, You see, not subtools, but objects. If we want to jump between objects, we can go here and select glasses, select body, and change her body, but it's much easier. Just hover over the object and Alt Q, and you can select it. Alt Q. Also, what I often use is symmetry here, like mainly X symmetry. I don't use almost never Y and Z. If our mesh is symmetrical, we can use it. Also, very often I use remesh option. This option I use when I'm out of resolution and I just want to increase it. So I use remesh. And get denser topology, and the short key for that is Ctrl R. Ctrl R, and it's remeshed. And if we hit just R, select the voxel size. Yeah, it's very useful. Like, you can see the size of the polygons visually, and you see the numbers. So very nice. Next, when I sculpt, I like playing sometimes with, by default it's set up to studio lighting here, but I like picking the matte cap and this one, or by default it looks like this. I normally use this one or this one. Sometimes we can try putting the cavity on and the shadows, and maybe it can help us to see better what's happening there, here and there. And the last thing that I wanted to show you, if you don't have two monitors and you want to add image reference here, you can change this one for image editor and open, put the reference right here. Or mainly I use PureRef, which is free application for references, which is very cool. But this is good for picking colors. When you want to poly paint this, you can simply pick the colors from here. If I pick the paintbrush and I want to select exactly this color, so I can go and paint her. Alt Q. So yeah, I hope guys these tips will help you to improve your workflow in Blender. Maybe most of the things you already know, but I hope that something new at least you found here in this small video. And thank you for watching this video, and thank you for being with me, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.